everybody else.
Alrighty, so welcome everyone. This is our mobility and flexibility class. Yeah, pretty chill, nice and relaxed class. This will be every Wednesday. So if this is your first time with me for this class, we're just gonna stretch from the chair, stretch from a standing position and on the floor, and then just try a variety of movements to pretty much just promote joint wellness and health and strength, a little bit of strength and stretching. So yeah, so don't expect to burn a lot of calories, but if you're feeling tight, bye Sherry's. If you're feeling tight or sore, hopefully after this class, you'll feel a little bit better. And the way, if you're with my other classes, we go pretty hard on Monday and Tuesday. So this is like the chill class, and then Tuesday, Thursday, we get after it. I mean, sorry, on Thursday, Friday, we get after it. And then on Saturday, we'll have our body tune-up class, which will be similar to this class, plus some foam rolling at the end. So if you are on my Saturday class, I do encourage you to get a foam roller. Not we won't spend too much time, but we will spend at least like 10 minutes with that foam roller. So any questions before we begin? Let's see, any questions. If you're on my class yesterday, I did attach on the assignment page the printout so you could keep records of that. With stretching, I don't think there's a necessity to track what we're stretching really for how long, or it's not like we're trying to improve our stretching. We do want to improve our flexibility a little bit, but we don't have some structure like we would with like a weight routine. So this is going to be a little bit more casual. If something is bothering you, just go ahead and on the chat, you could comment a muscle group you want to focus on, or you could just unmute yourself and speak up. But other than that, I can't really think. Like I said, this is one of the more relaxed class, so yeah, you could just follow along. But I see a couple people unmuted themselves. You got some questions?
Yes, Julio, I wanted to find out if you could add that video to the class.
Yeah, yeah, I could share that on the front page. So yeah, I know sometimes um I'll see some videos that are worthwhile, so I'll share those or if you guys request for them. And I think if you've been with me long enough, I've also shared some videos and we watch them together and we're like, what was that person talking about? And we never watch it again. So again, don't trust everything that's on YouTube or on the internet. But yeah, but I like a lot of the information. There's a lot of variety on that video. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And of course, at the very end, they just kind of threw at it. Make sure you stay active and work out. And I think that's just kind of as important because if you're eating super healthy and you're just a couch potato and not moving, those joints are just gonna get really stiff. So you want to make sure that you're active and moving. So Maria, you had a question?
No. So nice.
No,
So
okay.
good.
So yeah, so just remember, as far as enrollment and your grade in this class, your grade, your enrollment is just based on you logging in into Canvas and then just logging in like you are right now. If you can make it one day, just I'll try to post a recording within a couple of hours of the class ending, and then you just try to make sure and you watch through it. But yeah, but people that will get dropped are the folks that never sign in into Canvas. So, but all of you folks are safe. This is
Okay.
a 10-week course. And yeah, I don't think there's any interruptions for a Wednesday class. So yeah, so we should have 10 sessions for this. I know sometimes we have 4th of July. We have like next weekend, I'm going camping on a Saturday, so I'll have a recording for you folks on that day. We have Juneteenth in about 3 weeks or so. So we do have some interruptions on some weeks, but for this Wednesday class, I think we should be pretty smooth sailing until the end of July. So great. So the recording has began. Okay, so let's go ahead. You know me, I like starting with our chair stretches for this class. It's a little bit more relaxed. So let's go ahead and focus on our face first. So let's open your jaw as wide as you can. keep that jaw open, look up, shut your jaw, bringing your chin towards your nose. You should feel a nice stretch running through your neck. Then relax, bring it back down, and let's do 8 more of those, okay? So, let me, oh, I'm gonna try this. So again, so bring your hip chin down, open wide, look up, keep that mouth open, bring your chin towards your nose, feel that nice stretch running down your neck, and repeat. Total of 8 movements.
This is for your chin.
So this is going to be working on your neck. Also the skin under your neck, try to stretch that out. So as we age, our skin just tends to relax a little bit more. So we're just trying to work it out and stretch it out a little bit more. So just keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and just work on our facial muscles. So gently, we're just going to run our fingers from our earlobes down our jawline towards our chin. Remember, you could always throw on some nice relaxing music in the background. If my voice is getting old, you can go ahead and mute me and just follow along. I know Carmen does that all the time. So let's go from the side of our eyes and then just bring our fingers down the side of our cheeks. Does anyone really mute me? I'm just curious. That'd be pretty funny. I wouldn't even be upset. But like Josefina might. Okay, let's use the soft parts of our knuckles and then just palpate on our cheeks. Yeah, I logged into Canvas this morning and I realized that I had the incorrect front page loaded on. So luckily I logged in about 5 minutes prior so I could change it. Okay. All right, so yeah, so just some gentle touches. Skin around our eyes is a little sensitive, so I don't want to mess too much with that. So let's go ahead and just inflate our cheeks with air. Just puff them up. Might get a little bit sensitive, and then just kind of move that pocket of air and that bubble left to right, okay? So just fill your upper lip and lower lip as well. And relax. Let your mouth relax a little bit. All right, again, let's do it again. And relax. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and still working on our face. So we're gonna inhale through our nose, take a deep breath, and then make a small little windpipe through your lips. Exhale. Repeat. Again. Again. Let it all out. 3 more. Should feel that core getting tight. Awesome. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and start with our neck. Okay, so gently, just looking left to right. If I forgot to mention, our sessions will last about an hour and 10 minutes. So it just depends if there's a video, depends how tight we are. Um, but yeah, but if you have obligations that you need to leave early, um, you could just say bye on the chat and yeah, and I'll see you next time if you have to leave early. So, sometimes life happens, so I'll hold you against it. Up and down. So these are all gentle movements. So we want them to be slow, but we want to get the most range of motion of that joint as possible. We do fast movements, and we're putting ourselves at risk of pulling a muscle or straining the tendon, spraining the tendon, straining the muscle. All right, now let's go ahead and do neck circles, which is gentle. Switch. And counterclockwise. Very good. All right, we're gonna continue with our neck stretches. So let's go ahead, sit on your left hand. We're gonna keep the shoulders fixed. Bring your right hand over and just pull to your right side. And switch. Sit on that right hand. Left hand comes over. Let's go ahead and grab both hands behind the back part of your head. Elbows drop down. Hold that stretch. Down. About 20 seconds. Very good. All right, now yeah, we'll try the variation of this one at our next session. But let's turn to our right, to our left, and add a little bit of pressure on the right side of our face. And we're pushing a little bit to the left. Just adding more range of motion there. And relax. Now we turn the other direction. I'm turning to my right. And I'm pressing on the left side of my chin. Very good. All right, we're gonna start making our way down to our shoulders. So usually we wanna go ahead and start with the easier movements that aren't gonna irritate much. So we'll start with some shoulder circles. So posture is nice and straight. Shoulders come up, forward, down, back, and repeat. And shoulder circles. Okay, now let's go in reverse. So up, back, down, forward. All right, very good. Then go ahead and we'll go back and forth between our shoulders and our back. So this next one's the cat scratching pose. So we're gonna be sitting near the edge of our chair. Have a little bit of a gap between your legs. Reach up towards the ceiling from the top all the way to the bottom. Come back. So really feel that stretch, reach, reach, reach. Back. Very good. Repeat. More. Again. 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 Two more. Last one. Excuse me. Very good. All right. So now we're gonna go back to our shoulders. There's a lot of shoulder stretches that we have. So bring that right arm across. Just pull. Switch. Okay, we're gonna bring our hand up. We're gonna drop the lower part of our arm back and then push down on that elbow. Feel a nice stretch through your shoulder and your tricep. Very good. Let's switch. Left hand back and then drop. Very good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do snow angels. So hands at your side. Reach. Back. Make sure if there's any movements that don't feel well or are causing pain, just go ahead and skip it. You could just wait for the next movement. There's certain lifts that irritate some joints of mine. And sometimes that could happen too with stretches. So just a heads up in case that something doesn't feel well. Very good. Okay. So next one's gonna work a little bit on our back and our chest. So we're just, I need you forward a little bit from your backrest. We're pretty gonna try to make contact with our elbows behind us. Just bring them back, almost if you're trying to connect them. Pull back. Next. Try to reach behind you, your elbows. Relax. We'll do 6 of these. See 2 more. Very good. All right. Whew. Easy. Okay, next, we're gonna go ahead and a little bit more shoulder mobility. So we're gonna bring that arm up and we're gonna drop the forearm down. Up. Two more. We'll switch. Up. Drop. 2. 3. 4. Let's relax a little bit. Okay. So we're gonna back a little bit. So like I said, we'll go back and forth with our back and our shoulder. So just use the backrest of your chair and just rotate. Knees should still be facing forward. And then just a gentle rotation. Just hold. Reach a little bit more. Very good. Now let's switch. Turn left. Awesome. All right. So next motion is gonna be an Arnold shoulder press motion. So elbows are here. We rotate and press. We come back, rotate and press. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and work on a little bit of arm help. So we're gonna do opposite shoulder taps. So hands, our palms are facing the screen, and then you're just gonna tap that opposite shoulder. Eight on each side. Okay, now we bring our hands up, palms are facing the camera when they're up here, and extend down. This is a tricep press down motion, so this would be working on the tricep, that elbow joint. All right, next one's also gonna work on that elbow joint, a little bit of shoulder. We've done this one before. We might have done it. Did we do it yesterday? I think we did. The Poliquin lift. So Hands at her side, curl, lift, and extend. Okay. So if you got that, it's 3 motions. So you do a curl, you extend up those elbows, and then you extend the elbows flared out. Okay, so up. It's almost like a cheerleading movement. Again, this would be considered a complex stretch. All right, again, with another complex shoulder movement, this is going to be a lateral raise to centered and then up. Okay, and then you relax. So that up motion, you should feel that on your upper back. So lateral raise, center, reach far back. 3 more, 5 of those. Very good. One more. Great. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and work on our hips. Okay, so yeah, we'll work on our hips first and then we'll go into our forearms. So hip opener. So knees are forward, bend that right knee out. Make sure it doesn't collapse down. So I usually like putting my hand in place to prevent that from happening. And if it's stretching out, then just step away a little bit more to get more mobility. Back this way, left leg out. And again, just use that hand to prevent that movement. We don't want that knee to collapse. Otherwise, that hip joint becomes really relaxed. So we want to keep that knee up. Okay. We're going to work on our hands, our wrists a little bit. So let's just do some, like here's some relaxed wrist circles, just motions in and out. Gentle circles up and down. Okay, now let's bring, without bending our knuckles, let's bring each individual finger to the center of our hand. Okay, now let's do it with bending each knuckle of each finger. And then a heads up, it shouldn't be much of an interruption, but next Wednesday, I do have to leave right at 10. I have about 7 or 8 of my runners graduating, and the ceremony is Wednesday at 9. So I'm gonna try to catch at least the end part of it. So let's go ahead and then just separate our fingers from each other. So web them out. So the skin, little tendons between our fingers are getting worked on. So again, the goal of this class is just to kind of give every joint and tendon a little bit of attention. So. All right, very good. All right, now to one of my favorite ones. We're going to do our piriformis stretch. So right ankle on that left knee. And that might be enough of a stretch for you if you're really tight. So you should feel that stretch running right from like your glute area up your thigh, your hamstring. Something right there. Let's go ahead and push down on that knee. Gentle push down. And let's bring that knee up towards your chest. Bring that knee. Feel that stretch running up. Let's switch. So left ankle on that right knee. Gentle push down on that knee. Bring that knee up. And then we're gonna go back to bringing that right foot on that left knee. And I just wanna pay a little bit more attention to our arches. So just apply a little bit of pressure into your arch with your thumb. So if you're here, just apply a little bit of pressure. And while you're doing that, just move your toes. You just wanna, add a little bit of tension on the tendon and make it work a little bit as it's being activated. So just apply a little bit of pressure, maybe towards the bottom of the arch or by the heel. Hopefully there's not too much tenderness. If not, we might have to work on that a little bit more. So you can just gently massage if you feel like your feet need it. So I feel like I need that after a long day at Disneyland. So let's switch. Gentle. Yeah, awesome. Very good. All right, we're gonna start making our way down into our lower legs. So just sit towards the front, recline back, bring that knee close to your chest, and do some lower leg extensions. And then switch. Back press. So right here, bring that knee up and then just extend it. And switch. All right. Very good. We're gonna go ahead and a little bit of knee joint. So we're just gonna elevate your foot off the ground. Gonna hold right below, right behind my knee on the underside, and then just kind of like a little clock tower. Just shift that lower leg left to right. Try not to swing that thigh too much because we want the movement to happen on the lateral and medial side of the knee joint. So whenever you hear LCL or the MCL, those are the lateral cruciate ligament and the medial cruciate ligament. We just want to, it's hard to even move those tendons or those ligaments much, but this little movement will slightly just activate them. Let them know that we still think about them a little bit. Those are two tendons that are very strong, but when things go south, it's pretty devastating, and that's we see a lot of athletes with injuries that are usually dramatic side to side movement, which you might see in soccer or in basketball or in football. So, all right, very good. Heel raises. We're just here, and we're just gonna do 20 heel raises. This feet are flat. Same heel raises here. ABCs, our last sit down movement. So just trace the letters of the alphabet. Yeah, appreciate everyone logging in and all of my returning folks. Always nice to see you. I went to go drop off Julian this morning at daycare, and I had to trick him into, yeah, because he'll cry really. Not the funnest moment when I have to leave him. But so I told him I had to go get something that I forgot in the car. So I couldn't say bye to him without him realizing it. So kind of a bummer. But I'd rather do that than have him or have his teacher deal with another crying toddler. So alrighty. So let's go ahead and let's work on our shoulder. So if you have a broomstick, a foam roller, a long rod with these any of those items for our shoulder workout. And this being our first session, we will probably just conclude after we are done with our shoulders. So we might do a little bit more, but yeah, we'll hit the floor next week. Okay. So we're here. Let's go left to right. Let's go left. Bring that rod up to 90 degrees. Let's go 30. Nine, 10, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like pop. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 90 right in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 towards the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Right side, right arm, straight to your side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Straight in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Towards the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now we go behind the back. We go up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we lift. We'll lift back. 1. It's always a pop for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Okay. Do me a favor and grab a chair. We're gonna finish. We're not gonna use the chair to sit on. We're gonna use it as a support. So, make sure that your chair doesn't have wheels. We don't want a chair like that. Okay. So, and also we don't want the chair to be too high. So only if it's comfortable, I want you to step on it, use the backrest, and then just kind of lean towards it. Just lean towards it. Getting a nice little stretch on the calf as well, your joint. You could come back from a side angle right here, lean forward. So that's getting the stretch of my calf. And then kind of pop back, hamstring right there. Lean forward, that's calf, arches a little bit. Okay, we'll switch. The left foot on that chair, lean forward, back. Next one is we're gonna put our foot again, only if you feel safe and comfortable. If your balance is quite not there, or if you don't trust the chair, then don't just skip this one. But you see how I did there? Just put my foot on the chair. Okay, and then I'm just gonna lean forward. And then back up. Forward, forward and down, then back up. You should feel that running down your hamstring. We'll do 8 of these. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Okay. We're gonna give that leg a little bit of a rest right now, so we're gonna switch sides. So you could just rotate. So again, we're same position. You see how my torso is upright. I'm not really leaning. Then we're gonna come down. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. All right. Last one for mobility that we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead, hold on to a wall, a post, something that's gonna be nice and secure. And then we're just gonna use the chair as an obstacle to get our leg over. So again, I'm gonna go with my left leg first. So you could use the lower portion or lower part of the chair or the higher backrest. So we're gonna go over and above and then in reverse. Okay, so forward and reverse. So let's do 5 on each side. It's 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. I'm gonna switch, rotate. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Awesome. All right, folks. Well, I think that's good for day 1. We still didn't get to the floor, but we'll make sure that next session we reach the floor. So, how's everyone feeling? Okay. A little tired?
I needed that. That was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, it's good for the joints. Remember, tomorrow is aerobic interval training, which pretty much means HIIT workout, which is it's gonna be just cardio. That's pretty much, we'll do I think my goal for that class, it's if you're gonna be with me tomorrow, we'll probably start maybe with several sets that are just like 3 exercises and maybe for a duration of 3 minutes, so 1 minute each. And then as every week progresses, maybe we'll add 1 minute. So by week 10, maybe we're doing 3 sets of 10 minutes, which I've had some of you do that with me in the past. And I think by the time the class is over, we're just like, pretty gassed. So we'll start off light tomorrow. So instead of 3 sets of 10 minutes, maybe we'll do like 8 sets of 3 minutes, which should be a little bit more on the beginner side, easier side, introduction. So, but any questions before we start? I mean, before we head out? Like, what are we starting?
Julio,
Yeah,
Julio, it's Lena. I just wanted to let you know that I came late because I have a class in the morning, but I was answering questions about Canvas,
You're
but
in
just to let you
big
know, I am
trouble.
here.
You're in big trouble, Melanie. No worries. Yeah. The recording will be up hopefully in the next hour or two. But yeah, nice to see you again. So any other questions?
No, thank you, Julio.
All right, folks.
Thank
Hope
you.
to
See you
enjoy your
tomorrow.
Wednesday. See you tomorrow. All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you, Julio. Bye-bye.
Take care.